This is your Not So Critical update for Friday, October 8th. Today, Facebook goes down for 6 hours. And that isn't even the worst Facebook news this week. And Twitch TV suddenly becomes open source. Now your hosts, Mike Sutton, Peter Lowe, and Jon Cohen.
Jon, you know the robot's really Mike.
Don't give it away, Peter.
What are you talking about? No, it's nonsense.
Yeah, it is. It is. The secret's out.
That's
The
absurd.
secret's out.
You leaked Mike's true identity.
Mike's source code. That's
Yeah,
what we
Mike's source code. Very nice. Yeah, that's good. That's good stuff.
We're gonna get a bootable version of Mike that we can just spin up and replicate.
At least then we'd have something to talk about, because like literally nothing has happened this week.
I mean, it's been such a boring week, hasn't it?
It really has been such a slow. Just another week. Just another week.
Really, it gets to recording time, and you think, oh man, what happened? Like, you got to really rack. I had to go Google like what happened in the last week. It's just.
You probably couldn't get to Google. Well, you could maybe get to Google.
Depends. Yeah, depends on how many serve fails we're being hammered onto.
All right.
Onto Facebook auth.
We'll stop messing around.
Okay.
Should we jump in? We've already been talking for like half an hour, so that's we always get our best stuff out before the show starts. Nope, we've been saving it. Don't worry. If you're watching online, the best stuff starts now. Now's when the best stuff starts. Okay.
Yeah, right now.
Here we go. So Facebook has had a lot of trouble this week. Last month, I don't know if I can understate that more. Facebook really's had kind of a tough week. And I have no sympathy. Don't get me wrong. Like, I'm glad they're having a tough week. I think they totally deserve it. Some of it their own fault. All of it their own fault. So last month, a study came out that Instagram is bad for the mental health of teenage girls. Probably no surprise there. I don't think it's good for anybody's mental health. Earlier this week, a whistleblower came out and testified on Capitol Hill that Facebook well knows what it's been doing to destroy democracy and spread disinformation and make everybody's lives miserable, and doesn't care. And then yesterday, they had a pretty severe, was it yesterday or was it 2 days ago? Pretty severe outage on the 4th, so 2 days ago, where for a good part of the day, there was just no Facebook. Twitter suddenly became incredibly popular, and everybody was more productive. So do we want to start with the fun stuff, or we should start with the fun stuff?
The fun stuff is
dunking on Facebook for going down. Like, that's the fun side of this, right?
Well, did they really go down in the traditional sense? I think Facebook brought out the virtual mops and dusters and said, it is cleanup time. And someone somewhere tripped something that they weren't meant to, because dependencies are a thing, and caused a huge outage. I do think there's truth to what they said. I think they locked out their engineers that actually could fix it, which, by the way, happened. The engineers that could have fixed the outage couldn't access the outage because whatever tunnel they were using to access their intranet also went down.
Okay. So your theory is this was a classic sudo rm/f.
Definitely.
Oh shit! What directory are we in? Situation.
They 100% RM RF'd root for sure. It was just get everything out, no matter the cost.
And the timing is just too much to be coincidence for you.
Let's be real. It's been days. This doesn't just happen. And what also did they accomplish? They've now successfully pushed the headlines out of the way, talking about any whistleblowing stuff. And instead, it's all about Facebook being down.
What do you think?
I don't know how successful it was. I don't know how successful this attempt was. But most of the news sources I've been looking at have both stories. you know, about the leak and the outage. Obviously, the outage is major because it affected so much, and it was so epic. Everything just dead. I mean, Instagram, WhatsApp, Facebook, status page. They had to announce their status on Twitter.
Oof.
I mean,
Yeah.
thank you.
It doesn't get any better.
I love
Signal
Twitter's
saw an
response
increase.
message. That was hello, literally everyone.
Yeah.
And some of that thread was gold.
It
Pure
really
internet
just gold. Yeah.
McDonald's,
Everyone.
Adele responded, and they were like, "OMG, Adele!" I would
No,
love to
it
be the
was
person
too
in charge
fun.
of the Twitter.
I think
social
Tom from MySpace even went into that thread.
I didn't see that one.
Well, good for him.
That
He
is brilliant.
is
Good
just
for him.
so good.
Oh, man.
I
So
think
here's the official story. And I guess they don't say why. They just say during maintenance, a command was issued with the intention to assess the availability of global backbone capacity, which unintentionally took down all connections on the backbone. My theory was the program returned 0 and then figured out how to make itself right retroactively in terms of spare capacity by taking away all the capacity. But I don't know. My favorite part of the whole thing is they say the DNS servers disable BGP advertisements if they themselves cannot speak to our data center, since this is an indication of an unhealthy network. So I kind of imagined every individual server saying, oh, I must be unhealthy. I'll take myself offline all at once. And I love that they comment, all of this happened very fast. I think that's my favorite part of the whole article.
Yeah, you don't say.
Yeah, I bet it did. Not to the engineer who hit enter on that last command, I'm sure. It all happened in bullet time, watching
Matrix
disappear.
Bullet time. Oh God, the sweat on that guy. Yeah, exactly. You know what's funny is the strain that this caused on the general internet was obscene. Cloudflare and Google were all reporting immense data coming through their backbones, their respective backbones. And yeah, go ahead.
Part of the problem here is that what was the DNS outage was that the DNS results were returning serve failed. So that's a negative response. That means that the domain doesn't exist anymore. And the problem with that is that negative responses shouldn't usually be cached, which means they shouldn't be stored temporarily. So if you're asking for Facebook.com, like everything is, then it will go, no, it doesn't exist. So you just ask again, because it you know, and it just, I keep asking. So it's not just like, hey, this service has gone offline and doesn't exist anymore. It's the trillions of devices all around the internet and web browsers and phones and everything going, hey, does it exist? Does it exist? Does it exist? Does it exist? Like constantly. It's brilliant. I love it so much. It's because I'm like,
I was contributing to that just by hitting refresh.
Yeah.
Facebook really
I think just having Facebook on your mobile is enough for it to.
Yes, correct. And then all of the services that used Facebook authentication log in through Facebook, and you know, a lot of these companies,
including
status page,
their own key entry systems to get to the servers to fix the problem.
Love it. Absolutely. Yeah, like you said, it is chef's kiss. It is the creme de la creme of outages. It does not get better than this. Where it's a monopoly conglomerate that whole countries rely on. India and many others rely on WhatsApp for government services. And here is the ultimate argument why you break up these types of companies. I could not have come at a better time.
There's one guy who, God bless him, I love him, he's great, but he relies on WhatsApp so much, and he'd run out of drinking water, and he was like, I don't know what I'm going to do. My car's broken down, and my mate was going to come around with some petrol and going to fix me. I don't know what to do now. Like,
yeah.
You have to walk,
Signal, the competitor, the privacy-centric competitor to WhatsApp, saw an increase in like, what was it, 70 million users overnight.
Yeah, we did some analysis on how much traffic was going to those domains, and it, you know, obviously massive spike.
Yeah.
It's not. Sadly, it won't make any huge, like, real difference in the long run, but it's funny to watch.
If only the DNS not found was because they actually disappeared.
Yeah, exactly, the dream. But I think enough outages like this will kill Facebook. Enough things like this could kill any company, no matter how, if they're too big to fail or whatever, because people are fed up. You know, we want reliable services. If I want to talk to you guys or anyone for that matter, I don't want to wake up one day, try to call my mother on WhatsApp, and it's just not sending. There's just a little clock next to my message instead of a checkbox.
You know what, though? The thing is, I've given up trying to predict when things are going to go, when services like this big are going to disappear, because I never believed that Facebook would succeed. I like 15 years ago, or whatever it was started, I forget now, but like ages ago, I was saying, no, it won't work out. Now people will realize it's a walled garden. They won't. It didn't happen with CompuServe and MySpace and all the other ones. It's all exactly the same deal. Nobody's going to keep doing it. And for somehow, which I don't really understand it, and I'm sure there's tons of theories about, it's still around and it's one of the biggest companies in the world. So
yeah, at some point, I think John's right, but they're not close to there yet. I don't think
they're not going anywhere for now. Yeah.
And I did like all the messages
in my favor.
I know. I did like all the messages of people coming back online saying, "Oh my gosh, I just had the most productive day of my life. I don't know what happened."
Right. Yeah.
Apropos of nothing.
What happened was you didn't go on Insta or Facebook for the whole day.
It's funny is we're joking about that. I've seen that people make that same joke, but I bet that's true.
Yes.
I bet there was actually more work done. Really, people they spend half an hour going, "Oh God, what? Oh well, better just do what I'm supposed to get being paid for."
I still don't understand Twitter, so what am I going to do there?
Yeah, right.
Exactly.
Okay, so let's take a look at the less fun side of the Facebook news this week. Is the whistleblower testimony from Capitol Hill. Turns out Facebook is just in it for the money, and they know damn well what they're doing to the rest of us, because making people angry and causing division gets ratings and earns them money, so they're going to keep doing it. Part of me wonders why this even is news. Obviously.
Can I think I might have mentioned this before, but so we have a little Discord server where we chat about the podcast in the preceding week, and we discussed the stories that we want to talk about. And Mike the other day asked me, he said, "Hey," well, I don't know if it was directed to me actually. He just he said, "Hey, so I heard something about something about Facebook. It was about some online harm or something like that." And I thought, hang on. Yeah, so I went to go and have a look, and I found about 4 different threads on Twitter about it. And then this week, I came across someone, Aaron Sunkin, who we talked about before in an article that he wrote, where he summarized, I think, 8 different kind of issues like this. And you're right, it's not news anymore. It's just the same old shit keeps coming up again and again. It's harm against teens, it's sexual trafficking, it's political influence, it's the Russians manipulating I don't know, it's just
it is never ending, and it doesn't seem like it matters. No matter how many times Facebook is like, hey, they're really bad for kids. Oh, they potentially did A/B testing on a few million people. And then psychological testing.
Zuckerberg comes back this week and says, no, I don't agree. It doesn't make sense for us to be promoting content like this because advertisers wouldn't want to advertise.
No, we sell ads.
Stuff like that.
Right.
Yeah. It's all, why would ads? Yeah.
That was an absurd statement. That was a ridiculous statement. But when I say it's not news, I don't mean because it happens all the time. I mean because they're a publicly traded company and their obligation is to make as much money as they can, and making people angry makes them money. Why would they possibly do anything to curb that? And that's the connection to their advertisers. The more people that they can keep engaged, and the Haugen makes this comment in her testimony that a angry face and a rage response is still engagement. That's all Facebook wants. Yeah. And they get it by sharing this content. And it's not because they It's because they don't care what the content is. They only care that a post got engagement. They're going to amplify that post. It's going to get more clicks and more engagement, and they'll be able to sell more advertising. And there's like, that's their fiduciary responsibility to do that to their shareholders. Why would they ever not do that?
It's the classic problem with AI, in that you train it to do one thing or recognize one thing very well. It's just the training data is off. It's very specific and very narrow, and it doesn't look at the bigger picture. And that's what's happening. They have a very narrow aim, which is to make money through ads and engagement, and that's what they're doing very well and successfully, and making billions of dollars for everybody. But they don't, in the bigger picture, they actually are a seething cesspool of hate and vitriol that nobody should ever have to submit themselves to. But
well said.
I saw Amy Klobuchar on the news yesterday saying, well, we need stronger privacy laws. Privacy laws don't help this. What's that got to do with anything? Social media is the problem. And I'm on it as much as anyone, don't get me wrong, but it's terrible for society.
Yeah.
Both on a micro and macro scale, I think it's terrible.
Yeah, I still believe it's a reflection of humans, though. I think it's just amplified
yes.
all the good and bad traits that exist in us. Maybe it's an evolutionary, this is getting a bit deep, so apologies, but maybe this is an evolutionary turning point where we have to kind of fix the human race to some extent.
Yeah. Cenk Uygur on TYT said, nobody's ever at the bar and everybody turns around to say, hey, let's watch these two guys agree with each other.
Right.
They turn around because they want to see the fight. Obviously. Yeah. That's why they engage with Facebook posts, because they want to see the fight. As exactly what you said, it's human nature. That's what humans want, is that controversy, that emotion, the rage of it.
Now it's served to you instantly over and over again. And I think that's where these types of services are so dangerous, that Instagram, Snapchat, Facebook, Twitter to an extent, that they're instant gratification machines. And we shouldn't go too far into this, but it is a huge problem that you are training your brain to have short spurts of attention on something. And then you couple that with, if you post something, you instantly get feedback, likes. And that's, or whatever the like equivalent is, or a heart or whatever. It's like instant positive reinforcement over and over again, and it is not healthy. This is not something.
If you remove this mechanism, does the actual root of the problem go away? We still have that desire to do that to ourselves, right? We don't have any kind of self-regulation mechanisms if we make it easy enough. We're like rats or mice hooked on cocaine. Like, it's, you keep giving it to them, they'll do it until they die.
Right.
So Peter, you I think made a comment that, like, did you say this could signal a great awakening, or just that it would need to? Like, what's that? Sure, great, but what's that transition?
Oh no, I don't know. I've got no idea. I just think it could be like a point in our evolution where we either fix it or we just drive ourselves into non-existence in the most boring way possible.
I know which one I think is going to happen.
Yes.
Yeah, it is too bad, but I don't see anyone stopping this, right? It's not something that just goes away overnight. This is going to take a very long time to get over, these types of services and these types of entertainment. For now, I guess we'll just have to watch and laugh and cry, or laugh instead of crying on this show when things like this come out.
I don't know. I'm not sure, but I'm starting to think that maybe the Matrix is really the answer. Like having a sort of a safe environment in which to be a total dick.
Ooh, that's good.
Yeah.
Plug me in, just get me in there for sure.
Right. That's it. And we can all just be as big a dick as we want, and
while
it's
being
not
little
really
batteries.
Yeah. I mean, hey, small price to pay.
It's such a bad combination. We had that story we talked about, or study a couple of weeks ago. Have we been doing this even for months? I don't know. About online trolls really are just assholes in real life. Like,
right.
Yeah.
this is just who we are. I don't know. What do you expect?
Yeah. Well, let's not get too philosophical, or we will become the philosophy show.
You're gonna rein us in, Jon?
Yeah, exactly.
All right, you want to
I
do
don't
it?
know. I
You wanna do
consider
another
it.
one?
Yeah, what do we
Let's
got?
Okay,
see.
what's up next?
I think this is Peter's show.
No, this is
Oh.
John's.
I did it wrong. We talked about it like 4
Yeah,
different times, and I still messed
Yeah,
it up.
that's
Yeah.
right.
All right.
Hey,
There we go.
there we go.
Hey, that's smooth transition.
Smooth transition. Syniverse, a company that no one's ever heard of, that is super important, who basically transmit all of our SMS messages. Now, this would be less important in various countries that don't really use base SMS anymore, base text messaging. America, on the other hand, loves text messaging. They will not give this shit technology up. They just can't do it. It is unencrypted. iMessage is trying to fix it. Android messaging is trying to fix that. But when communicating between those two devices, it is baseline SMS, super unencrypted, not secure. Your phone provider, whoever that is, AT&T, Verizon, whatever, can read all your messages, and so can Syniverse. And they just said, after quietly going public a couple of months ago, that they found out they've been hacked for like multiple years. They've just been breached and no one noticed. This is huge. We are talking about like most of the world has touched this company without knowing it, be it sending an international text or even just a text message to a different provider, potentially. Like this is that company, and it should be bigger news. It isn't. No one seems to care that potentially all of the 2FA codes that have been sent out, or all of those sensitive messages you've been sending to your loved ones or whatever, have been like read. No one cares.
I will note from the article that they say 235 of their customers were affected, and they have not disclosed which 235 of those customers they were. So somebody at one of the carriers says whoever hacked Syniverse could have had access to metadata such as cost, caller and receiver numbers, locations of the parties, and the content of the SMS messages. But they don't say in the article who was compromised. So it could have been billions of people. It could have been
it is
tens of
billions
thousands of people.
It
We
is
don't
billion.
know.
It is billions.
It
of
is
people.
billions.
235 cellular providers. Even smaller cell providers, the indie ones, the tiny ones that lease off of or leech off of like the big ones, they also serve tens of millions of people. We're talking about such a humongous breach, but it's only 235 providers, right? That's the way they're framing it. But really, it is billions of people. If it's not billions, it's a billion. If it's not a billion, it is close to it.
Even if it's not one of the big telecoms.
For sure, this all adds up. And if it's one big telecom, we're talking about hundreds of millions of customers.
Because then it's everybody in and out of the network.
Exactly right. It's whoever you sent it to, right? Like Syniverse is the bridge. They are what connects all of these different providers all over the world. It is absurd to me how little this is being talked about, while being such actual potentially could be really catastrophic.
Are you ready, Peter? Are you ready? Text is a plain text service. Nobody should have an expectation of privacy. Everything I send by text, I fully expect could be read by somebody in transit.
Probably is.
Why do I care? I won't even make you answer that again. I'll just tell you, I don't care.
Yeah. That's fair. No, that's totally fair. It is really 100% fair. I think, what's interesting to me is I would want to know how many 2FA codes have been intercepted and used because of this long-term
Well, I thought of that, because that's the one thing that did stand out, is like, oh, if you're intercepting 2FA codes, that could be an issue. But
that's the only thing that stood out for you.
Yeah. What do you mean?
The one thing that stood out
That was,
about somebody having inside access to like this kind of organization for 5 years with like, and you were just thinking, well, hey,
you're like speechless over it. Like, oh, 2FA codes. But even the 2FA codes, I thought, well, they don't know what site you're on, and they don't know when you're trying to log in.
No, they definitely do. It
Based
says
on what? They don't know your password. They don't know your user ID.
I can go find
because
those
that
passwords.
information is not out there.
Right, exactly.
How could they possibly find your?
Okay,
your
so
ID?
here I'll paint you a pretty shitty scenario. So
Yeah.
there are a lot of insecurely hashed passwords that are in the public domain, right? That also are coupled with emails. So I'm a terrible guy, I'm a malicious actor, and I'm the guy who hacked the Syniverse.
Just for your scenario.
Just for my scenario.
Okay.
I definitely did not do this. NSA, FBI, if you guys are listening.
Which they are.
And
Well established.
Of course,
they are.
Of course. We are that important, by the way. I'm that attacker, and I now, with 5 minutes of internet time, have found a cache of, let's say, 1 million email and password pairs. Now, many of these people didn't know that they were breached and are reusing this password on their new banking site or whatever, on their Coinbase app, buying crypto. And I see the phone number, I look up the phone number again, super easy to do, see that it's them. And now I have a list of God knows how many people with access to their passwords, with access to their 2FA codes and their emails, while also knowing what the service is, because it says it in the 2FA code message. It says your Wells Fargo code, your Coinbase code.
Yeah.
Done for. So how many people have been affected by this without knowing, and them thinking it was a SIM swap attack, or simply that they were hacked without knowing what the definition actually is? Terrible. But hey, it's SMS, so it's unencrypted. It's plain text, right? Right, Mike? So
everything you said is true and possible. I don't think it's plausible.
It's I wouldn't. It's so. It has been done. I can assume. I'm not saying that with knowing that it has. I'm assuming it has.
I mean, if you were executing a targeted attack and you knew what you were looking for, you had a specific group of phone numbers because you knew who they belonged to. You wanted to get into a specific service because you knew a person used it. That seems more likely to me than somebody just randomly guessing. Oh, here's a 2FA code from.
I could quickly automate this.
These guys were in there for years and years.
This is just a script, you know. Like, this is easy automation.
Can you imagine the first couple of days? You're like, oh wow, guys, we've hacked Syniverse. My God, we're inside. You know, a week later, they're like, oh my God, okay, right, we really kind of look around now. We've got access to like over 200 companies. Oh, this is great, right? So month one, they're like, oh well, yeah, been inside the system for a while now, pretty open. Seems still here, not kicked us out yet. You know, 6 months later, like, well, okay, guys, so we've got the seed funding, Series A for a startup for Syniverse, right? We're in contact with the mafia, right? Okay, a year later, right? So we got the Russians on board. That's good. Yeah. They're upgraded to the kind of executive board meeting room by this point. You know, black suits and ties. They got the lawyers, tax havens all set up. 3 years down the line, okay, listen, we're going to have to get rid of Johnny. He's not working out anymore. We're going to have to bring in a new CEO. Listen, does anybody have any contacts? Like, this is a 5-year-long business that has survived and been basically an integral part of Syniverse since then. They can automate all of this. Like, it's unbelievably bad.
So you're also, though, assuming this is a situation.
And 2FA codes is 2FA codes is genuinely the only thing that stands out to you as being an issue here, because I think that there's a little bit more going on. Like, this is an international communications network that's been compromised for 5 years. No, let me finish. I need to get this out. Like, this is like the movies in real life, but like times 10. It's worse than that. It's so much worse because it's normally in the movies the government can fight back, or they can, they get kicked out of the system after a certain time. They're gonna have to. This is like, I don't know. I don't even have any kind of real life comparison. Like, usually I try and bring it back to something in real life, but this is just so bonkers. And 2FA codes are the least of the problems. 2FA codes are like the, kind of the first thing that we think of. But how would you take advantage of being in that situation when you have unfettered access to a worldwide communications network that is used by governments and everybody?
Governments, companies,
Governments
individuals
should know better. No
children
companies using.
They
That's
don't
the
know
problem
better, though. That's
here.
the point. They should know better, but they don't. They're all
Right.
idiots.
Yes.
And like, unfortunately, they deep breath. Deep breath. That's it.
I've broken Peter.
I think
Seriously.
Saying that it's plain text, and sometimes you're too good at being the devil's advocate, Mike, because
I feel like you think I'm playing a character, but like I honestly just, I mean, so like, look, if this was as bad as you say it is, right?
Yeah.
Nations should be involved. The providers would be involved. This would be like the biggest breach in the world.
it is.
We would hear about
It
it.
is one of the biggest breaches in the world. The reason it's not such a big deal is because they knew that if they did anything huge, they would get found out and kicked out. So they weren't noticeable. But what they probably made money, like a shitload of money, from being engaged by foreign governments, nation state actors, the international mafia, anybody that wants to give them money to do some very targeted, high level, essentially.
That's just one scenario.
So once again,
right? Like
breaking news: the internet is insecure. Shocking.
Right.
No, but
not just
the reason I think that.
Who thinks phones are secure? We used to have party lines. You could just get on and people would just be there talking.
But this is the problem. We have not given up on these insecure protocols. People are clinging on to text messages like they're important somehow.
They're very convenient.
Are they? Signal, WhatsApp, Telegram, those are convenient. I get to make a call while looking at a picture in the same app that they just sent me while FaceTiming someone at the same time on that same app.
It's the infrastructure.
Oh, and then I'm gonna bring in Peter to the same call. Just super smooth. That's convenience. Text messages are slow, expensive, and insecure, and we are still using them. It is absurd to me. In 2021,
it's a standard that everybody can use. If you're on an app, I have to be on the same app as you to talk.
But that's actually not even true, because I'll tell you why. iMessage and Android messaging both are working to fix this. The problem is, at least from what I know, is that they're not working together. Really, what should be done is a new protocol for SMS. We'll call it SMSS. Should be created.
SMSSL.
HTTP SMS.
Copyright.
Yeah, TM. But no, we're going to keep using text messages. We're going to keep using phones as our primary verification devices. Text messages as 2FA codes. No, I don't know what else to say. It is very, very upsetting how little traffic this is getting. But we'll see. Maybe I'll be proven wrong next week. Maybe some new huge news about this will come out. Text messages have been banned, and everyone move over to, I don't know, IRC.
That's never happened, has it? There's not a single time in the history of anything where a massive bad thing happened and then that bad thing got stopped. Like it just finds a way to carry on, and then slowly maybe Facebook will figure out a way to make money from replacement. I don't know.
Facebook acquired this company that did the.
Yeah.
That did not actually happen, guys. That was just very convincing.
So if we were doing predictions, my prediction would be we will never hear about this company again.
The only time we're going to hear about Syniverse again is either Congress or another hack. That's my prediction.
Yeah.
I go with the latter there, another hack. I think they're going to be,
We can. So the story we're about to go to is one, again, where I think like it just happened. So much is going to happen over the next week. We're going to have to talk about it again. If the Syniverse thing comes up again, I will put it back in the rundown.
Yeah.
I don't buy
Okay.
it.
Who
though.
buys who a pizza?
I don't believe it.
I don't
All
think
right,
it's
so
going to come back.
you're buying
We
the
will,
pizza then if it comes up, and if it
we will
doesn't,
never,
then,
we will
then
never
we
hear about
order you.
Syniverse again.
We will
But
never
if we
hear about
do,
Syniverse again.
if we do, I'm
Uh-huh.
not leaning towards this one. I'm not leaning towards this one, but it's either going to be through lawmakers or it's going to be that they got hacked again.
Is there any other way that we could? Do you know what might happen? Is that they could get like they'll rename themselves, they'll rebrand,
True.
they'll get bought by another company,
Yeah, yeah.
or they'll
Declare
they'll
bankruptcy
split
and
or
then
something.
yeah,
That yeah,
right.
yeah,
It'll
that,
be
that
like
kind of thing. I think
black Greystone.
BlackRock.
No, there's already Greystone.
Grace-
BlackRock was what I was gonna say, but that's already taken.
well, the classic one is SolarWinds and Enable.
Right.
Yeah.
Enable. I cannot see that combination of letters and characters and not think Enable, but it's Enable.
Enable
right?
is what they're going for.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Kind of a cringe name
Naming
if you ask
companies
me.
is hard.
But that's okay.
Okay.
Yeah,
I
we
did not
came
commit
back
to
straight
pizza,
away.
but I will commit to talking about it again, even though it
Hey,
bores me terribly.
You could probably order me a pizza via SMS if you. I can think probably one of my local companies.
Yeah, that's
just
convenient.
just text me your crypto wallet
Oh.
password and I'll transfer it to you.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
All right.
All right, what else do we have?
Do you want to have a fun one?
Right. No, this is
Another fun one?
this is.
They just keep getting better.
Not my article though.
Damn
Yeah.
it. I did it twice the same way.
I mean, I don't know.
Wow. I'm having a hard time today.
Yeah, it's all right, mate. It's all right. You're getting old. It's fine. So this is Twitch. Twitch, the entirety of Twitch is reportedly being leaked. I'm downloading it right now. If I were, genuinely, I am actually downloading it right now. I'm in Malta. Come get me. And actually, I have a legit reason for it because I am a security researcher, so I do need to find out a bit more about this. Yeah. So it was announced on 4chan, as far as I'm aware. There is a magnet link which you can easily paste into a web browser and open up your favorite BitTorrent client and download 128 gigabytes of data from Twitch,
which we will not share.
No, definitely not
illegal.
showing that. But because Googling it is impossible as well, like nobody's ever going to find that. Actually, funnily enough, I did share this on another Slack server, and my message immediately got deleted by one of the moderators. I was told off, which I find weird, but it's a very technical community as well. So, I mean, whatever. But the sad thing about this is that I don't know enough about it yet because it happened this morning, and I've just been busy all day, and I haven't had a chance to look into it. But I am going to check it out. I've seen a screenshot of a list of the highest paid streamers, which apparently is causing a lot of discussion. Millions of dollars a year for some people, which is, good for them as far as I'm concerned.
This wasn't, but that's not even news. We knew this.
Right,
people have estimated through just counting monthly subs and donations. It's fairly easy to estimate how much these big streamers make. The big news is the other stuff. What else do you have?
Well, again, yeah, I think you sound like you're more informed than I am, John. I mean, maybe this should have been one of yours.
No.
Yeah, it's the whole system. It's not just a segment of a part of the data. I compared it apparently multiple times today. Mike claims, although I only remember one other time I made this comparison. I compared it to the Epic EPIK data breach, which happened recently, where somebody released an actual VM of a server, which you can just boot up and have one of their servers running in your environment, which is, again, beautiful. I mean, the breach guys are here, just really, they're earning their money. Love it. Good job, guys.
Yes.
Famous for hosting right-wing sites like Parler and Gab and
far right.
Far right.
So I probably have a little less sympathy for Epic than I do for Twitch, although Twitch has its own problems for sure.
Yeah, no, for sure.
Yeah.
But we should not compare oranges to apples here. Let's be real. Epic hosts hate.
Yep.
And they do so freely. While Twitch at least combats whatever hate raids or whatever else is toxic
Yeah.
on their communities, they try to fix this or fix those things. But what is interesting to me is, oh, and by the way, I just want to make it clear that it is, from my research and from what I know, it is allowed. It is now in the public domain. All of this whole 128 gigs of Twitch data. Once something gets leaked like this, it is legally speaking, we are allowed to look at it for research
in the
purposes.
US, though. I mean,
In
that's
the US, and we do have to follow US laws as
right.
we are in the US, besides you. And
So that's the royal we there.
yeah, exactly. But we are not allowed to share this, right? Sharing is where it's bad.
Caring.
If I'm informed correctly, because now we're sharing bad data that is intellectual property of a different company. But looking at it, downloading it, that is not considered sharing it, right? We're just taking. We're not giving. That's the distinction here.
Can I just point one thing out though? It is being distributed as a torrent, so it's a little bit difficult to download it without sharing it, at least in part.
Just turn your upload to 0 and it'll be a little leech. And
does that work?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah,
I've never
I'll
tried
walk us
that.
through the settings right now.
And you will.
Okay, here's how you do
can
it.
protect
You open
yourself.
the menu.
Yeah, exactly.
Files.
Yeah. No. But you can protect yourself without sharing this in the event that you're worried or whatever, and you are a security researcher and you do want to look at this, or you're just a curious little Joe and you want to look at it anyway. Make sure you're not actually sharing it, as that could cause potential issues for you. But the interesting thing that I read was that Twitch is making some competitors to Steam, the video game marketplace. They were making an accompanying app that was supposed to be some sort of messaging app, I think, that was also like going to be a competitor to like Steam messaging. It's interesting and once I really dig my teeth into this, it's going to be way more fun. And I think we might actually have to talk about it again next week, because this is only part 1.
Oh, it's going to get better.
Yeah, that is kind of funny. The download is called dash part 1, which is
The reporting says includes the entirety of Twitch's source code back to the beginning, creator payouts from 2019, which is where the list of payouts of the top streamers Peter referenced, mobile, desktop, and console Twitch clients, proprietary SDKs, and the internal AWS. They are owned by Amazon and they host on AWS. I couldn't find any information about how they got compromised, whether it was their admin123 password or what the problem was that actually exposed all the source code. But then, as John was saying, every other property that Twitch owns, including IGDB and CurseForge, the unreleased Steam competitor, and then this was the one I thought was the most amusing, is Twitch's internal red teaming tools designed to improve security by having staff pretend to be hackers.
Just ironic.
Apparently, they're shit hackers.
The amazing thing about this is that it's also nice and neatly organized. Like, I mean, first of all, how long did they have access to Twitch's systems? Was it all? Does Twitch have like some internal source code archive where they just say, "Hey, here's all that"? It's like a wallet, an actual physical leather wallet where it has all your ID and everything in it. Or did they spend weeks inside getting all this, or extracting it somehow? It's remarkable how much stuff there is all together.
This stinks of an internal leak.
But still, even an internal leak wow.
This sounds
a
security guy. Actually, listen, security people generally have very high level access, including red teaming tools.
Yeah.
A disgruntled employee, that's really all it takes, right? Is someone who says, I don't give a shit anymore, and goes on 4chan and says, hey, here's a magnet link, enjoy.
As an aside, can we just talk about this Steam competitor? Because I just love the name. It's called Vapor, which is good, isn't it? Steam Vapor.
What gives me, it's kind of like, obviously I don't think they would have gone with that. It's codenamed Vapor just for this, for the Steam. But when I read it, that wasn't the first thing that came to mind, which is actually the more obvious one. What came to mind was, this is all going to turn into vaporware. which is kind of ironic because Amazon and all of these big companies make so much shit software that they end up just throwing in the trash and never releasing. But
one of my favorite little stories, by the way. Sorry, I'm interrupted, Sean. You go ahead.
Oh, part 2 supposedly includes passwords of all users.
Where did you hear that?
I read that. I read it.
Yeah, that's what.
Where did I read
Where?
it? One of the many articles. I think it was said originally on the 4chan. It was originally said on the 4chan thread that has now been deleted by the mods.
Oh, it's been deleted, has it?
I could not find it. Yeah, I could not find it. I wonder if maybe
save that
Web Archive. Oh, do you have it open still?
I do, yeah.
Grab some screenshots for sure.
I'm gonna just save the whole file.
I went in and changed my password immediately.
Yes.
As soon as I heard about it. But why, Mike? You don't care about security. Not true. I changed my password right away.
Very good.
They
were reporting,
even
and then I texted it to myself.
It might as well just be hacked
and then
anyway.
I texted myself.
So that I remember it. That's how I use my text app in my phone for my email for my password management. Anytime I create a password, I just text it myself, so I have it in the history on my phone.
I actually have a post-it note with all my passwords right on my monitor.
I told you I used LastPass for my password. Joke. All lowercase, no spaces.
Yeah. That's right. Yeah.
So stupid.
Sorry,
but I store it in RoboForm. So
there was a little story I just wanted to make. It's kind of related to that. It's just a sweet little story that I like, which is that if you've ever used an IDE, right? You guys have been doing development at some point. Use an IDE. An IDE.
Oh, IDE. Yeah.
Like on PHP, we use PHP Storm. That was there. So at one point, the what's it called? The Java development tool was called NetBeans because Java, coffee, and all that. And then a competing one was from Sun itself was started, and it was called Eclipse, which I always found absolutely delightful because
from
Sun versus
I never put that together.
The whole Vapor Steam thing reminded me of it. My phone worked for NetBeans.
People are very clever.
There you go, trivia.
People are very clever.
All right.
Steam has had a lot of trouble this year.
Really?
Losing some big names to YouTube.
Oh, you mean Twitch?
Oh, Twitch. What did I say?
Twitch. Yeah. Steam.
I meant Twitch. Yeah, Twitch has had a hard time. Yeah. Their handling of DMCA takedowns has been broadly criticized.
Obscene. Yeah.
They're dealing with this hate raid issue.
Is that the SWAT thing?
No, it's automated bots coming into an account saying terrible words.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Even when the creator is offline, which will.
I feel like an old man here because I don't watch any Twitch streams. I feel like
it's just basically like causing people to get banned. Even when
I understand the concept. Yeah. I get it. I just in general feel like the whole topic, apart from the fact that it's it's a juicy leak.
Yeah.
But I just don't use Twitch at all. I don't watch anything.
So you don't like watching other people play video games, Peter?
But I do on YouTube. I watch Let's Play thingies, and I actually find them more fun than playing the games themselves sometimes. That I understand. It's just Twitch is a platform. It's not something I've ever really kind of gone into. I don't know. Maybe I should experiment.
Yeah, you should check it out.
Yeah, it always seems like a bit as an out. Sorry,
I was a side
as
story.
An out.
Doesn't matter. Go ahead. Sorry.
I love side stories.
I'll tell it at the end.
Go on. Okay. All right. So as an outsider, Twitch has always looked a bit like a monopoly on something that I just don't care about. Which is weird. How like Pokemon or what the kids are doing these days, sort of thing. Like it makes me feel old. It really does. It's what kind of tattoos are our kids gonna get that's gonna freak us out? Like what stuff are they gonna? Okay, kids, not our peers. That's an inside joke. If nobody else gets it, then I'm not going to explain it. But yeah, so every generation, it has this kind of point at which they no longer understand what the next
True.
generation is doing. That's what I mean about the tattoos. Like, you know, getting a little ankle tattoo was probably outrageous to my grandmother, but like now it's whatever. So what are our kids going to do?
Oh, I see what you're saying. What is going to be the tattoo of their time?
Exactly. Yeah. So
probably like digital tattoos. You know?
It's just when you get to that point, it's what? Sorry, say go. Repeat that, please.
Digital tattoos is what I said.
Oh, that would be cool though.
Yeah, like moving tattoos, like that'd be pretty sick.
I kind of hope it is something that I find actually cool rather than just confusing.
Like very cyberpunk.
Tell us your
Then
side
we could all get
story,
rotating ads tattooed right onto our bodies for
true. Instead of driving around with like ads, you'd advertise for McDonald's for $1.50 an hour. Yeah.
Sell some.
But we never
space.
get to see. We would never get to see any of the other ads that are being displayed because we all be, you know, plugged in at home and just not leaving our
straight to the neck.
Someday.
Yeah.
Fingers crossed.
That's
get me in there. Full dive. Yep.
Me too, man.
At least we can all agree on something.
I think I don't think Twitch will survive this. I don't think Twitch will survive a year.
Okay, back to serious predictions. I like it. Good. I disagree.
I think because of their other problems and because they're already hemorrhaging top level streamers to YouTube gaming, this on top, I think is going to be the end. It might not. It won't happen right away, but I think over the next year they'll just fade away.
Interesting prediction. Why don't you think that, Peter?
Oh, sorry. I thought you were talking to Mike. No. I wasn't expecting to actually be challenged on my prediction, but sure, yeah. So, as an outsider, I have a special insight into this. I have a perspective that perhaps you guys don't have. You know, basically, I think that YouTube isn't that kind of thing, and I think that Google, who own YouTube, have turned it into just another boring video platform, and that's it basically. Any kind of extra dongles or features or movies or live streaming gaming shit, it's just not going to work. Kind of. I don't think there's any other real alternative that has the brand and the feeling that Twitch does as being like a live streaming youth-driven platform. YouTube certainly not. It's grandpa in the internet world. Can you imagine live streaming coming to like MySpace or I don't know, or Facebook tried it, they couldn't do it. Instagram tried it, they couldn't do it.
But YouTube Twitch tried it, and they are doing it.
And Amazon hasn't put any investment into Twitch.
No, this was Justin.tv was what it was originally called. He sold the creator of Twitch at the time, Justin.tv, sold for $900-something million to Amazon, and it was already self-sufficient, right? It was a beast of its own by the time they purchased it.
And there are definitely features that YouTube gaming is missing. But it'll be easy for YouTube to add those features, and I think
they already are.
Yeah, the other thing I think is looking at some of the comments and code that was highlighted in some of the Reddit threads, and I don't know if it's actually you'll find out once you actually get into the code, but it looked like in the code they were actually calling out specific streamers. One piece of code implied that some award system was actually hard coded and not based on user actions. I think once people start to see what's in the source code, it will, rightfully or not, cause a whole nother layer of controversy on top.
Yeah. Maybe, but I don't think Twitch will go away. I still don't. I think the best thing they could do, which is the most likely thing they will do, is to kind of fess up to their mistakes, say that do what you should do in situations like this. Say, right, you know what, this is wrong. We're going to fix it. We're going to be a better company. Zoom did it last year at the beginning of COVID. They had a terrible reputation for security because they did a lot of things badly. And they said, no, you're right. We're wrong here. They hired a really good security guy, and now they're millions of miles better than everybody else. And
so,
you know,
here's my distinction on that comparison and why Twitch is going to fail.
Oh, okay. 2 against 1.
Zoom.
How's it feel, Peter?
First time since I joined. Just kidding. Zoom did not have all of their source code leaked. Yeah, this doesn't happen. Wait. Hold on. This does not happen. This happened to like Nintendo. I'll tell you why I'm so passionate in a second. This happened to Nintendo for like the DS or something, and they were hunting people down. They were going to their houses, they were stalking them. The reports were crazy of what Nintendo was doing to trying to control the flame, the wildfire. This is a complete dump of all code supporting Twitch right now, not the Twitch from 2 years ago. Why is this a big deal? Because it's closed source software. The security vulnerabilities that are going to be found are going to be obscene.
Yeah, but they'll be fixed and
abused. How? Okay, so 10 of them get reported by good guys.
You've got the
how
entire
many others
finding.
are found by bad guys?
Yeah.
Look, we've already established that just because something bad happens to the company, it doesn't mean it's going to go away.
No, but this is going to be affecting all content creators are affected. All content creators have now said, "Holy shit! All of my information is out there."
A lot of them are already unhappy with the platform.
Correct.
I'm going to die on this hill.
I truly believe that Twitch is going to go down because of this event.
And where are they going to move to?
YouTube. Everyone already
really.
YouTube, I don't think you're understanding the size that YouTube gaming has compared to Twitch. Yes, Twitch is a majority. Twitch is a majority for sure. But it's like comparing Microsoft to Google at this point. You know, they're both monoliths in their own right in this space. Yeah, everyone's gonna move. Either someone will spring anew and create a Twitch competitor.
That's more likely, I think. That's more likely.
Which people have tried in the past, some of which were literal Twitch clones, like everything was the same. Or Google will just swallow this whole, which they've done in the past multiple times with browsers and emails and operating systems. They love this. This is their buddy.
Yeah, but look, as far as Google goes, when was the last time they launched anything new that was hugely successful? Anything?
I don't think it's something new though. It's an established product. It's missing some features, but I don't think it's a big deal for them to add those features.
Let me modify my question. When was the last time Google showed any significant innovation in any of their products that was hugely successful?
Years. It's been years. It has been years.
They have a core business of advertising, and they make small tweaks here and there. It's the iterative development approach. You know, they had the 100 different shades of blue for the search button or whatever. Like, it's they don't do anything these days. They haven't done anything for ages. And everything they've tried, they've shut down. Have you seen Google Graveyard? It's insane.
Yeah, of course.
It's hundreds of products of things that have just been end of life.
But the guys at Google, the product heads, leadership, their mouths are watering right now because they see Twitch as yet another revenue tap. And when something like this happens, I think they're going to go into overdrive, and they've already started. Even
Microsoft have had Xbox or started actually innovating in open source. I don't know, man. I just don't believe that Google can do it.
So Peter,
and if it's not Google, something else will, because the trust is now broken, and that's a huge issue.
But the problem with this option is that they're missing the infrastructure, the employees, and the community. The community might shift over pretty quickly, but the infrastructure and the employees are still hard.
Very difficult to do.
This is 180 gigs of source code, but could I just give you 180 gigs of source code and unlimited resources, and you'll get it done in how long? 6 months, a year? By that point, I think Twitch would have fixed it.
But they've got a lot of those features.
I think what is the issue? It's unfixable. This is you know how you fix it? This is how you fix this. You do it all from scratch.
Well, maybe Twitch 2.0.
That's what I mean.
I think
the company Twitch will reinvent themselves, right? We're launching a new version of our platform completely from scratch.
They can't do it fast enough. There's no way they can.
I agree with you that they cannot, but that is the only way I'm envisioning them solving this problem. Because
how could anybody do it faster?
Because they already have. I think
you're underestimating.
The competitors are built already.
Yeah, YouTube already has a lot of those features.
Okay.
So here's I'll help you out, Peter. Here's the reason why they might not go away. The only reason they're going to go away is if the content creators leave. The reason the content creators haven't already left
I'm sorry.
is because of uh-oh.
I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry. There's a thing just falling down. That's all. Carry on.
The reason the content creators haven't left already is because of the money they're making. Hasanabi, $200,000 in 2019. XQC, $750,000 a month just in payouts from Twitch. To move to YouTube, yes, a lot of those followers are going to follow him, but he's going to give up overnight $750,000 a month. Those top
but that is
20
not how
streamers.
it works. That's not how it works at all. You have to understand. Sorry to cut you off, Mike, but XQC says, ring, ring. Hello, YouTube? Yeah, I want to move to your platform.
I don't know.
They will pay just like Microsoft did with, I forget what it was called. They also had one that they ended up selling to Facebook.
For that entire top 200, top 20, top 50, top 100?
For sure. They will offer them $2 million 2-year deals, something like that. The numbers are arbitrary. I am telling you, this is going to happen. It happened with Ninja. It was a fatal blow to his career as a streamer, but he made a bunch of money doing it. Yeah, you shouldn't have left Twitch in the height of Twitch, but this is where they all get poached. I can guarantee if you aren't already in talks with them, they will be shortly.
What is to stop Twitch themselves bribing the top streamers and saying, "Hey guys, listen, we've made a huge mistake here. Obviously, this is very bad for the company, but we're doing what we can to stop things. Listen, as just a thank you for the years of promotion that you've given our company, and not a bribe, here's $2 million. If you just sign this,
right there. What you just said. Okay, contract. Cool. Hold that, Twitch. 1 second. Ring, ring. Google. Twitch just offered me $2 million to stay. How much do you want to offer me? I'm telling you, this is how it's going to go down. They are going to hemorrhage content creators.
All right. Okay.
That's my prediction.
That's great. So I'm the underdog here, and I'm gonna.
And I totally agree with Jon, because content creators have already started leaving, but I think we'll also know pretty quickly if in the next probably even couple weeks some of these people in the top 20 list start talking more about going to YouTube, and they wouldn't probably announce it in advance, but I think we'll know pretty quickly.
No, that will be a clause. It will be a clause that they have to announce this on all their platforms.
Oh, they'll announce it when the deal's done. Yeah. They just won't say.
Sure. Oh yeah, they won't talk about it until contracts are signed, for sure. Yeah. Look at Dr. Disrespect. He went over to YouTube after being banned for whatever reason we don't know.
Tim the Tap.
He has 50,000 viewers. Yeah, this is never gonna end.
Dr. Disrespect. That's who I always think of when
big news. Right?
That's
Peter's been following that story.
Good old.
But it will be interesting. We are kind of veering off the core subject here. I think that is what's going to happen. Peter, if you're right, maybe I'll order you a pizza over SMS.
You're not getting a pizza out of
me. Okay. I'll just order myself one because I know your password now, and I can hack your phone. Exactly. So
I would send you a pizza, but I don't want to have to ask for your home address
over SMS.
Because I don't like giving that personal information out, right? Is that the joke you were going to make?
It's just out of respect, yeah.
I thought so.
That's good stuff.
Yeah.
So, do you want to hear my
keep the swearing down? But
story about
I would
gaming?
say to you, Mike.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah,
let's hear
We're done. So, okay, so the show's over.
Yeah.
Watch, subscribe, like, share. Anybody who's stuck with us this long is probably subscribed, but
I hope so.
If not, do it now. And then here's just kind of a bonus story that I'm sure is super interesting to everybody other than me. So there's this YouTuber called Biffa Plays Indie Games, and he does traffic optimizations on city skylines. So people will send him their city skylines save files, and he will fix the traffic problems on the map. And I don't play this game. I became obsessed with watching his fix videos to the point that when I'm driving around with my wife and son, I'll be like, oh, that's a divergent diamond. They really would do well to replace that with a roundabout. Because it's much more efficient for the following reasons. And if they really paid attention to how these on and off ramps worked on the highway, they probably would find that they should do some better lane math. All of which I get from watching these videos by this guy on a game that I have literally never played a minute
You've
of.
actually become a physical infrastructure engineer, a armchair infrastructure engineer
We're
while
watching
driving. Yeah, watching this guy.
And he's a British guy
Excellent.
who does the videos, so I just I love his accent. I listen to it talk about lane mathematics and merge points and traffic flows, and it's just I love it.
That's funny.
You guys don't like roundabouts, right?
I love roundabouts. I think they're ingenious.
As a
America.
country,
You don't
not
have
adopted
many.
them.
America does not like roundabouts.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, that's what I meant. You guys.
So you reminded me.
We love
I know
SMS though.
that we love SNS. I love watching. His name is how am I blanking on this? Stone Mountain 64, and he does the funniest. What is it called? It's Microsoft's Flight Simulator.
Oh yeah, there's a Air Force
Oh,
Pro 95
yeah,
that I watch.
He
Also,
does. He does like the ATC controller.
Yep.
Or ATCs, just AC. Otherwise, it's controller twice. And my God, this man is he's just so funny. And there's one episode in particular where he's just hammering this poor guy who's trying to land like an F-16, and he doesn't know his terms and like anything really. So it's just his commentary is amazing. I highly recommend going to check it out.
Who was it?
I think it's Stone Mountain 64, I believe is what his username
Yeah.
is.
So this guy, Air Force Proud 95, does something very similar. Love him. He's hilarious. Say yours again, Stone Mountain.
I think it's Stone Mountain 64. I think so. Yeah, there it is. And you just do ATC, I think it is. If you search in the Google in the search bar.
Oh,
Stone
so he
Mountain
does.
All right, maybe
64.
we should keep the live YouTube searches to like after we've stopped recording. Just a suggestion.
We're
for our
giving
faithful
endorsements to these
True.
fellow YouTubers.
You know, it
Okay,
might have been.
all right.
I might be
They
thinking
could
about the
return the
guy that you
favor.
mentioned. I might be
don't know.
mixing the two up, actually, Mike. It might not be Stone Mountain 64. But if
Oh,
you do
really?
Stone Mountain 64 flight sim in the search, you might find it, and I might be right, but I don't remember. Nope. I guess I
Okay.
was right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Seriously, I think we should probably stop.
All right, so we take back, we
Scroll
retract
through.
our
We take back.
endorsement of
We
Stone
take. We do
Mountain
not
64.
endorse Stone Mountain 64.
Sorry, dude. You seem like a nice guy, but you're not what we
You don't fly enough. You don't fly enough.
We're at war with Stone Mountain 64.
Maybe we'll
Not so
drum up
critical
some
update.
drama. Yeah, we'll
Declares
drum up some
war.
drama
Oh,
from big viewers to get some or from big content creators. And
That's right.
cool.
Yeah,
Was that everything we had?
It gets her at the end.
Yeah.
So tempted to try and actually make a serious attempt to hack Mike like properly and see just to
Like,
prove him
you
wrong.
have to get
So
his permission.
this, and I said this last time. This is actually the only fear I have about it is somebody will just think, oh, I should try to prove a point and be a dick. Don't do that.
Yeah.
I will
Right.
say again, I do not want to be murdered. Do not stalk me. Do not crack my bank accounts.
But you should assume that they're already cracked anyway, and that everybody is already stalking you, right?
I assume people are making every effort to do that. I do not want to be personally singled out for it. But if some asshole wants to do that, then I can't stop him.
Mike suggested 364 Green Avenue. Let's go.
Send me pizzas. That's if you want to prove that I can be compromised, you should do it in the form of having a pizza show up at my house.
Really?
Yeah.
Easy.
Wait a
With
minute.
your
Should I ask
social
for more?
security
What should I ask for?
in pepperoni, like.
Right.
No, I'm
right,
gonna
right.
get like 1,000 pizzas on the same
1,000
day at my
pizzas,
house.
yeah.
So like a PS5 maybe would be good.
Yeah, but paid for from your own bank account.
No,
Right.
no.
That's how you do it.
That doesn't
With
prove
scalper
anything.
prices.
Did you have an account on Twitch, Mike?
I'm not going to say.
Okay.
Yeah, I do.
I'll start there
I
next
do.
week.
Pretty sure he
I
already
don't do
said
anything
when
with
part-
it. We talked about actually streaming this show there. I mean, I talked
Yes,
about it.
thankfully
Maybe
we
with
didn't.
you or not. I don't know.
Yeah. I wonder how
Zen
many
Mike
Twitch
is my
streams-
Twitch account. I don't think
Is
there are
Twitch
any videos
still
on it.
up? Are people
Yeah.
actually still streaming right now?
Oh yeah. Why wouldn't it be?
Yeah,
Why, would we just
I
take it
checked this
down?
afternoon to change my password.
No,
They
it's
were.
live. It's live. Yeah, everything's
Okay.
fine.
Shoot.
Everyone's acting like
Alright,
nothing happened.
Yeah, I mean, it didn't
Here we're gonna
interrupt
watch
the service.
Mike scroll through Twitch streams.
It didn't interrupt the
Type me
service.
out.
It just this. It wasn't the actual like live source code.
No,
No
but it's the stuff that's being used in production, right?
Yes, of course.
Yeah, it's
So
still in
therefore,
production.
any of the exploits that are found today or tomorrow are
Will
going to
be
be
active.
Could be going live at any
they're
0
moment.
day,
effectively
whatever.
0
Yeah.
days. So, yeah.
Well, we'll know
God,
if they're
guys.
using insecure services. We'll know everything. That's dangerous.
I don't know what I would do in that situation.
Should we end the show?
You know,
I feel
as-
like
Yeah, let's do
we're
that.
losing
yeah,
the
for
thread
sure.
here.
Yeah.
Thank you for sticking. We losing or have? I mean, I was joking about you spoke for YouTube a few minutes ago, mate. It's not like. Yeah. Okay.
Sometimes we just talk
Listen,
after we stop recording, and I couldn't remember if we got to that point yet or
Had
not.
you hit the pause button yet or not?
Yeah,
Right.
no, I
It's like
didn't.
saying
We're
you've
still
seen
recording.
things.
So
Oh,
this is
oops.
going in the show.
Yeah. Good.
Yeah. Thanks, guys. Listen, anybody who's actually stuck around this long, genuine thanks, and also why. I'd love to hear from you. So please do comment.
Do leave a comment.
Well, we
I actually
do this
hate when you
for-
say leave
you
a
know-
comment below. It's like obviously it's below. You know, like where are they going to leave a comment on the side? Like
Yeah,
leave a comment. Yeah.
it's a-
Not to be so aggressive about it.
Actually, I do. I do
smash
think
that
there is
like
a side
button.
benefit to this. You know, in the future, when we look back on our lives, this is going to be recorded in, for posterity. Our kids are going to be able to see this stream,
Oh god.
and their grandkids. And one day, our words will be heard far in the future.
Yo, remind me to archive everything.
How late is it where you
Hi.
are, Peter? What do you?
Our grandkids. I want you to know that
That's good, Peter. That's too
it's
good.
This is Peter's
it's a
death
difficult
video.
time.
Yeah, exactly. He's finally accepted it.
His will is going to say fast forward to 1 hour 5 minutes.
September or October 6th video. Yeah, exactly. whatever
Unless
it'll be.
my YouTube account gets hacked because of poor physical security or whatever, but don't
Right, text
do that.
message.
I do not want to be hacked. I cannot be more clear about this.
All right, everyone, go reset your Twitch accounts and enable 2FA. That's my plug.
Laters.